started favoring, is it Cecchinato? Cecchinato?
Cecchinato, John! Cecchinato! Cecchinato!
Cecchinato! Come on, John! I, of course, am a citizen of the world. I know how to pronounce all names from all countries. Don't forget Cecchinato, the Italian guy, not Fonini. No, Mr. Goat, you can't play that clip. It undermines my credibility. I guess it's just me. We're doing a quick video today because me and Pete are preparing to do a giant tennis clinic called Closer Camp, where people come here, where we train to learn how to be closers on the tennis court. I would feel really bad if I didn't share with you the latest findings on Mr. Goat's supercomputer ranking the final 4 players at the French Open. So a couple days ago, we showed you the numbers for the final 8 men in the quarterfinals of the French Open, and Mr. Goat's numbers, they worked out pretty well. So there was a 3-point margin for error, plus or minus. With that in mind, little Diego Schwartzman, Shorty D, Dominic Thiem, Cecchinato, they're all 20 points. Zverev, 24 points outside of that margin. So Mr. Goat's supercomputer, correct. It said that Alexander Sasha Zverev had to lose. No coincidence that he was the first one to go down, and quickly in straight sets. Djokovic had 19 with Cecchinato at 20. 1 point difference. We knew that was going to be a tight match. And the crazy thing in that match, look at the stats, put it on the screen, Mr. Goat's not here. Djokovic won more points, more first serve points, win percentage, better win percentage on return points, second serve. Djokovic had everything. But if you'll remember, Cecchinato way ahead. In that winners to unforced errors differential, Cecchinato was plus 35. Now he's plus 48. He's number 1 on that plus or minus differential, which we happen to believe here at Coffee Break Tennis to be one of the most important statistics on clay, because it's all about patience, and that's why we like Juan Martín Del Potro. By the way, just wanted to say a big thank you to Lavazza, who already sponsors all the major tennis tournaments around the world. That's a big deal. Lavazza sent us this lovely cup and some delicious coffee that we're enjoying right now. Thanks, Lavazza. So even though statistically Djokovic was better in every department, that match came down to a couple of tiebreakers, and Cecchinato way ahead of Djokovic in that plus or minus differential, winners to unforced errors, and of course, positive, and Djokovic in the negative. That could have made the difference in those tie breaks. So, since today is a quick show, let's just jump right into Mr. Goat's latest numbers and analysis on the final 4 men. A quick note on the women. Yes, I'm pleased. I said Simona Halep looks good. I'm surprised that Sharapova couldn't find a way to at least have a tough match, let alone, not win against Muguruza. Sloane Stephens, who became my favorite sometime in week 1, really, kind of hit me, because clay is all about what Rafa and Sloane Stephens do really well. Move really well around the court so that you can defend. Remember, clay slows down the ball. So when you have great defense, you're benefited even more on clay because you have a little more time to use your defensive skills to get there early and do something with the ball. And they both have a lot of power to hit through that slow court, especially against players who have a little less power. So I really like Sloane Stephens against Simona Halep, the jalapeno, as Brad Gilbert likes to say. Sloane Stephens, my pick to win it for a little bit now. I definitely feel sure about that going in, because when it comes down to it, Sloane Stephens, Halep, they're both going to play great defense, but Sloane Stephens has the X factor. She's going to be able to hit winners where Halep will not be able to. She's just so much more firepower from Sloane Stephens. All right, so the men, final 4. Cecchinato ranks 3rd in the first serve, 4th in the second serve, 3rd in the return, which is a dead even tie with Delpo. And he is now the king of the winners to unforced errors differential, plus 48. Let's go through that really quick. Rafa plus 37's right there. Dominic Thiem breaks even. And Juan Martín Del Potro almost tied with the king at plus 47. Just 1 away on the winners to unforced errors differential with Cecchinato. Here's another thing that they have in common. So it's really about the semifinals, right? Rafa will have to play Delpo. Rafa ranks 2nd. This is, if you didn't see the last show, what we did is we take win on first serve percentage, win on second serve percentage, win on return percentage, and then the plus or minus differential is the final factor. 4 key stats here that I think are very important on clay. Then to get our power rankings, we add up. The smaller the number, the better. It's like golf. Rafa he's second, first, and third in the differential. That adds up to 7 again. Delpo came up with a final number of 8. Cecchinato 11, but Dominic Thiem final number of 10. So both of these matches coming up are within our margin for error. They're only 1 point apart. So we look at those key stats in the matchups. Let's isolate it a little bit. Rafa and Delpo. Rafa has a 5% advantage in the win on second serve. He's got a 7% advantage in the win on return. Delpo 2% ahead in the win on first serve and plus 10 more. He's plus 47 against Rafa's differential of plus 37. So ultimately, we like Rafa a little more because he's a better size for defending that court. He's going to be a better mover, which is so important here. And he also can generate a lot of power, a very heavy ball. But the downside of that is, and I give Delpo a strong shot in an upset. I think Delpo has a better chance at beating Rafa than anyone. Obviously, the numbers add up to it. He's got an 8, whereas Cecchinato 11, Dominic Thiem 10. The thing that I've noticed that I saw, they're replaying it right now, Cilic and Del Potro, the thing I liked about Del Potro so much is it just seems like on this surface, you can't really hit a ball that bothers him because he's moving so well. He's moving better than Cilic. He's playing better off the second serve than Cilic as well. Rafa loves to hit that high bouncing forehand to the backhand. We've talked about it a million times. Del Potro is one of those few guys who can really handle it. He's got the height, just like Robin Soderling all those years ago when Rafa first lost here at the French Open. And almost just as important is the fact that Delpo is moving very well. So the fact is it's just hard. You can hit a ball really hard on this court. Delpo's moving so well. He's got the height. He's likely to not be bothered by most great shots that most pro tennis players can generate. And almost as important is that ability to move and set yourself up to hit a great shot. Great forehand in most cases for Del Potro. The backhand is working the best we've seen it in years. This is the perfect timing for Delpo to really be hitting through his two-hand backhand. And a nice little added bonus, I know it's not as effective on clay as other surfaces, but still, Del Potro has a very strong slice backhand now. From all that time where he couldn't hit through his two-hander, he was worried about re-injuring the wrist that's kept him out so many years in the past, so much time. He developed a great slice backhand. He's got the variety there if he wants to go to it. So if Del Potro feels like he's getting pushed hard, if he's feeling the pressure and having to play some defense, he's got that nice slice working for him. But most of the time, he's going to be able to set up and hit a heavy two-hand backhand. So Rafa's favorite weapon, not as effective against Juan Martín Del Potro. Finally, a lot of people talk about weather, say Schwartzman would have won if the weather hadn't rained, if it would have just stayed the way it was where Rafa doesn't like it and not quite rained enough, he definitely would have won. I don't know for sure. I'm not going to count Rafa out ever. Even if he lost that second set, I still would have gave him a shot even in the conditions that he doesn't like. So here's the weather forecast. It can change. Obviously, these things always change as you get closer to the day. It's a little far out, but here we go. So maybe not as hot as Mr. Rafa would like, and you got a chance of rain coming in at 2 p.m., I believe, the match time. So I believe, correct me if I'm wrong down below, but I think it's a 3:30 p.m. start time for Rafa and Delpo. 79 degrees Fahrenheit, and a chance of rain bouncing from 20% all the way up to 45% at 5 and 6 o'clock. So we might get a scenario where it's weather that Rafa doesn't like, where Delpo is still going to be strong enough to hit a very heavy ball that's tough to deal with. Comment your pick down below. I really want to go with Del Potro, but I'm going to go with Rafa because I feel like he's going to find a way, no matter what, to win. Expect to see, though, an epic battle. Same with Cecchinato and Dominic Thiem. Yeah, I really want to say Dominic Thiem's going to blow the guy away. He's killing him in all the departments. 6% more win on first serve. 4% more win on second, 4% more return, but he's even in that differential. Why do I care about this differential on clay? Because it's so important. Like I said with Delpo, he doesn't look bothered. He's moving so well that he doesn't have to go for too much, and his average ball is pretty heavy enough to do some damage even on clay. Cecchinato has been playing on clay all year. This guy has he's a lower ranked player. He's the surprise, right? He's mostly been playing on clay all year in the lower tier tournaments. So he's really got his rhythm on the clay. Don't get me wrong, Dominic Thiem played a long warm-up season. Dominic Thiem should win this match. He should get to that final, but This guy, Cecchinato, he's really got nothing to lose. If he does lose, this is still the greatest time of his life. No matter what, he's still going to be the highest ranked he's ever been. He's still going to get the biggest paycheck he's ever had. But his differential is almost 50 winners higher than Dominic Thiem. So we might see, plus in the rankings, he's got an 11. The Mr. GOAT's system gives Dominic Thiem a 10. We might see a couple of really tough battles. If you're waiting to see Roger Federer on the grass, if you're just, I'm sick of clay, you're one of those people who said they're not watching anymore, don't miss the 2 semifinals that we got coming up, especially Rafa and Del Potro. See ya!